Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lauren House, and today I will be talking to you about some of my observations from the movie Crimson Tide. So to start with, we will talk about some of the leadership styles that were seen specifically in the two main characters, the captain and also the lieutenant commander. So the captain was very much so an authoritarian type leader. He was kind of a dictator of his boat, which basically just means that he expected everybody to do exactly what he said, exactly the way that he said it, and to not question any of his decisions or to give their opinion on anything that he had done, because in his mind, ultimately he was the leader and they had no right to question him. He told them not only what to do but how to do it, and they were expected to follow that to a T. We see this in several different places throughout the movie, particularly when he is talking to the XO, mainly just because the XO is new to the ship. But there is a situation where the XO brings up to the captain that the men are low on morale and they need some sort of something just to boost morale, and the captain kind of makes fun of him and embarrasses him in order to bring him down, remind him of his place, and to really just make him submit to whatever he was doing. And we also see that same kind of idea when the captain tells the XO never to undermine him in front of people, which that in itself is completely understandable. Like, you don't need to be undermining the leader, even if you're the second in command. But something about the way that the captain carries himself throughout the movie makes us kind of think that even if the XO had gone to him personally behind closed doors, that he probably wouldn't have liked any sort of opposition and probably would not have listened to it anyways. So that's the kind of leadership that the captain has. On the other hand, the XO has more of a situational type leadership style, which basically just means that he doesn't have a cookie cutter way of solving any sort of situation or any sort of problem. He takes each situation, the people that he is working with in that situation, and he takes all of the information that he has into consideration when coming up with what needs to be done next. He's not the kind of person to just haphazardly go off and do something, even if he thought it was correct, until he has all the facts and all of the different views of the story. So we see this particularly in the scene where he confronts the captain, and we see that he is asking the captain for some more time. He wants all the information. He wants to understand the situation fully before he makes a decision on what to do. So we see it in that place. We see it also as he interacts with the other men on the boat. He is constantly looking for their opinions and looking for their ideas and trying to hear what they think should be done so that he can take all that information and formulate a response. Out of the two different types of leadership styles that we see, I would personally rather be a situational leader as opposed to an authoritarian leader. I definitely think that there are times when authoritarian is necessary and you need to tell people what to do and how to do it, but I think that those times are few and far between, and that if that is your primary way of leading, that likely your followers will follow you out of fear and not so much loyalty or just intrinsic values. They won't have a heart behind what you're doing necessarily. And I know a lot of people, probably more like myself, would be very turned off by this authoritarian leadership and would want somebody who's going to listen to their opinion and listen to the situation. Even if they're their ideas are not used necessarily, and there's a better way of doing things, that's fine, but at least to be heard out. And so I personally would rather be a situational leader where I take all the information and all the different viewpoints of the situation, and I consider the people that I'm working with and come up with the best solution, the best next step for us in that specific situation, because I just don't believe that one way of doing things is going to work for every situation. So those are the different types of leadership that I saw. Moving on now to a specific followership style that I saw, I believe that the Cobb exemplified the effective follower. So an effective follower is one that is logical, is loyal, does not follow blindly, but instead has opinions and logically follows the person that is that they have to follow because they see the value in what they're doing, or they see the point of what they're doing, and those people are generally the ones that are going to work the hardest, give you the most. And I think we see that the Cobb is fiercely loyal, not only to the captain, but also to the other men on the boat and to America itself. And we see that he is definitely a thinker. He's not somebody to follow loyalty blindly. He is somebody who wants to think through the situation, follow the protocol, do what is right, but do it logically and not do it just to be doing it. And we see that the captain responds to him in a very authoritarian way, which immediately shuts down the effective follower and belittles them and usually turns them away from following. So we see this in the big scene where the captain is trying to arrest the Cobb and the XO after the Cobb asks the captain to think about the situation. And the captain yells at the Cobb, puts him down, tells him, tries to get him arrested as well, and the Cobb immediately turns to the more logical side of things, the more pragmatic side of things, and follows the XO. So in this situation, the leadership style did not match up with the follower. The follower was very prepared to do what he was doing, was very effective, was very high functioning, and the leader treated him as though he was a low functioning follower, which does not complement that followership style. So those are some of the things that I saw about leadership and followership in the movie Crimson Tide, and I look forward to hearing all of your opinions and all of your thoughts as well. Thank you.